Just grab a little bite and belly kind of feel alright. So we're trying to get ourselves comfortable and speak to you guys. So Natangia, introduce yourself to them.
Alright, so hi chilling family. My name is Natangia Park, also known as Gia or Nats Sister Park. I am a young lady who is crazy about the Lord.
Definitely.
And just strive to go deeper in Him. Yeah, apart from that, I am a medical technologist
Yes.
by profession, and I am a student at CBI as well.
Okay. So alright, I don't know, I think I'm gonna start with your profession.
Okay.
What lead you in that profession? Was that what you always wanted to do?
Alright, well, no, actually. I always had a passion for forensic science. And if time allows, I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
But the thing is, there wasn't any undergraduate program at the time, to the best of my knowledge, based on my research, that I could be enrolled in. UTech had offered forensic chemistry, but I wanted to do the general science. I don't know if that makes any sense, you know. But
it will make sense to the bright people.
Yeah. But and then for me personally, I can become easily bored if I'm doing one thing for too long. So then I was at school in sixth form, and we're going through the booklet to see, the programs offered at different universities. And I saw medical technology. I was thinking medical science as well.
Okay, wait, let me interject. What's the difference between both?
Alright, so medical science, then this is basically what the doctors study to become a medical practitioner. Medical technology, now we are basically the doctors of the lab. So we deal with the patient samples while the doctors deal with the actual patient.
Or the physical.
Yeah. So the reason why I did medtech as well, I did it as a stepping stone, and as I said, I'm easily bored. Medical technology has 5 different parts in it, so if I'm bored doing one, I can do 4 other ones.
Yeah.
And then I say, after doing medical technology, I could always go on and do my master's in forensic science, since that was the only thing that I saw offered here at the time in Jamaica.
Okay, so choosing the one you're in now, was it hard? Was it difficult?
I can tell you it was difficult. It was difficult, but through the grace of God, I made it through, and I must say I really got it, because the second year I get baptized and sealed, and from second year right to final year, I get award. So I know say I got that.
Oh,
Lord God,
pull
me through.
So now that you have graduated and you are working in the field, how is that now?
It is way different from being at school, which is a given. This is the real world. I know most of this is a dog eat dog kind of a world, but then praise be to God, the environment that I am in now, you have some persons there that are really really nice people, and you can relate to, and some of them are godly persons, but of course I'm assuming with most workplaces you will have some downfalls.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's called personality clash.
Yeah.
Or sometimes pursue, I don't know. Just a look like everything. I know what to say.
Yes.
Yeah. So basically your job now is ordinary hours?
Yes, same 8 hours.
Okay, and so you will be falling to essential workers?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And so now that you're working in the field, do you love it?
I actually do. I actually really do. And like I always tell persons, although when the work really gets stressful, I'm like, thank God I love the work here, because if it wasn't for the love of the work and the patience, of course, because a lot of times when you're there and things get hectic, which it can get hectic on a daily basis, you remember the patient and say, oh, this could be my mother, this could be me, and in general, this is a life you're dealing with at the end of the day.
Alright, so for persons who, like myself, who doesn't like frequently hear that kind of job or the position or the role that you play, Could you explain to us what exactly you do?
Alright, so and what Sister Debbie say is true because a lot of persons don't know about medical technology. Um, in Canada and UK, they would refer to us as clinical laboratory scientists or medical laboratory scientists. Um, in Jamaica, medical technologists, medtechs. What we basically do, we test bodily samples, so blood, sputum, semen, stool, urine, you name it, whatever swab, vaginal swab, you name it. So we'll test these samples. So basically analyze them to help the doctors to diagnose whatever disorder a patient may or may not have in a nutshell.
So, as they attack the questions that come, so is it that you have a formula so let me give an example, like when them take your sugar and they will look for the color on a chart, is it that you have something like that you work with, or is it that you have to know it from just you were taught it? So
alright, so it's a combination of the two. So you have to go to school to learn basically the background or the technical skills, and then when you go to the particular laboratory, they have different methods that they use to do a particular test. So like for the glucose, you can test for the blood glucose level, which is the blood, and we use the machines to do the testing. Also for the urine glucose, now that's where we would take a urine dipstick and look at basically the grading and match it to the chart to see if you have it or not.
Okay, so that looks like I understand.
Yes, you do.
Yes. So far, would you say, because like the other day I heard Keisha saying that our fellow classmate or person that you go college with, that they graduate this year, saying that they cannot get any job without experience. How was it for you to get a job as you leave university?
Alright, so Keisha is correct. There are a lot of persons who, when they leave school and you're applying for a job, employers are asking you for at least 2 years of experience. Now, if you just graduate from school, there's no way on earth you can get 2 years experience. So what I would encourage persons to do, I know this is outside of the question, you can always volunteer if you can, right? For me, in the field that you are in. For me, God was so good, as I said again, like, it paid for serve God. Yeah, it paid for serve God. While I was on internship, I think by the end of the first or second month of internship, I was offered a job where I was. Okay. So we actually get the job before we finish the internship rotation.
So basically, because you're there with them and they saw your potential.
Yes.
Right. Yes. So you have proven yourself.
Definitely.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So that means I would advise persons in college, when they go on internship, do your best.
Your best, definitely.
Do your best, work hard, put out the extra effort, so that they can, ask you to come back or request you,
yes,
or whatever.
And another thing too, they watch you. So even after working in the field that I'm working, usually when I get interns, I always encourage them, listen, do your best. Just do your best. And sometimes things are there. Don't be an ordinary student or ordinary intern. So let's say you must come to work 8 o'clock, and that's the time your shift starts. If you can reach our 7:45 and go in at the department and start wipe down or writing temperature, let them see the effort. Also, if work finish 4 o'clock and you're working on something and something else to need to do and it'll take you up to 4:15, do it. They watch these things, so they see how interested you are in it. And so far, those persons who have encouraged have secured a job.
So basically, as we were always told, first impression last. So you put your best foot out when you're on internship, and you leave your name there, and then you can always make that place the first place you send a resume. Okay, anything else you want to tell us about your work before we move to anything else?
Just through our skills, we save lives.
That is good. And that gives you a good feeling to know that you make a difference.
Yes, definitely. And I always say, a lot of patients, some of them don't even know because, like, I remember when I just started working and I was like, God, how can my ministry be included in, my work? Because I know, like me, I meet the people them to tell them about Jesus.
Yeah.
So, I remember one day a thought came to mind, why not pray for the samples so you get. So, that's what I usually do. So if I get a sample, I'm like, worse if you say the results look abnormal, like they're sick or whatever, I'll say, Lord, I'm praying for Debbie 5. I pray that all results will go back in line, blow the doctor's mind, and so on. And I can tell you, there are patients who come back, yes, of course, they take medication, but medication without faith, or if God is not in the mix, it won't work. And I've seen patients, their names come back with the same patient, and they come back with good results. So prayer works. So there's always something you can do, no matter the work where you do. If you're a taxi driver, no matter if you're a taxi driver, you can pray for somebody, or you can encourage them to go to church or something. But you can ask God as well, how can I include you in the work that I am doing?
Yeah, but as you said that a while ago, that say you pray for the samples. Sometimes I am on the road and somebody drive past or ride past hard, where you have to stop and all me can do, God cover them.
Yes.
Sometimes you hear the ambulance, and maybe that person in the vehicle don't even know that somebody did this. Me will say, God, I don't even know it's who in there. Sometimes I say, God, cover them. When you hear fire brigade, you say, Lord Jesus, comfort that family there. It's not all the time you remember for it, but once me in that frame of mind, me always that throat prayer, because I think the best thing you can give somebody is prayer.
It's prayer. That is so
the
true.
best thing you can give them. If you give them money, it can't finish. If you give them food, they can eat and them want food again. But prayer, stack up,
Trust me,
can never run out, and it is really good.
It is.
So I just want to take the time out to say that I'm really proud of you guys. I think our young people at our church, they're really brilliant young people.
Yes, they are.
And we have a lot of university students. And you guys come out and you choose your part and you're doing excellent in it. And I just want to say that with God all things are possible, because if you check most of these young people, their parents had no money. If they tell you, oh, they go to university and the struggle, that I can speak for myself too, as Speechal's mom. So when you see, sometimes you see the young people them out there and they're working and you don't know how hard. That's why I think it's really unfair for students to go to university and cannot get a job afterwards.
That is true. That's true.
When she tell me that, my heart was really broke, because I'm saying that mother push herself and say, not like you look inheritance, but you say, well, I'm not have infidel with now, because I graduate, say I'm going to go in a one job.
But you still have to
I know you hear him can't get a job because they don't have the experience. So I think the government needs to do something about that. How can you just be coming from university and you're asking students for 2 years experience?
It's true. It's true. Because a lot of persons have heard about it even before I secured a job and thing. Most of the times when you see the ads and you say, okay, somebody sent an ad in the group, when you look, they're asking for experience, and it has always been, something of concern for my friends and, my schoolmates and so on, because we really find it unfair for true, but
then, something dropping on my spirit a while ago, that even in church, somebody will have experience that more liable to get a ministry leader than somebody that does not have any experience. And based on that, you might go in that laboratory and you make an error that could cost everybody. So I think that, and this is not me, this is wisdom the Lord just bestowed upon me, that when they say they want experience, it is necessary. So maybe what the university needs to do, that the final year they actually have them doing not theory but practical things.
And that's why I will give credit to UTech, and this is not a bit of UTech, but I would give credit to them, because at the end of our 4 years they send us on an internship program, so that's how I managed to secure a job. So at the
that
end,
doesn't
they
happen
send
at
you
UE.
for UE, based on what I hear from some of my peers who go there, they have to find somewhere to go do the internship. But at UTEC, they place you in the field,
That is
especially for
good.
my course.
That
They
is
place
very
you
good.
there.
That is very good.
So it takes some of the pressure off of the student.
Okay, so you will encourage any young person trying to decide what to do to take on your field?
You can, but trying to decide what to do. But yes, you can. I would encourage you to figure out what your passion is first and foremost. But if you're okay being behind the scenes per se, then you can definitely embark upon this profession. If you like to help persons to save life and so on, definitely I would encourage anybody to come and be a part of this field. It's a really cool field, and you know, there are things that you will see and understand in terms of like looking. Let's say your hand is dirty now and we go in the lab and take a swab and we put it on the plate. You get to see all those tiny microbes growing. It's like you're going to another world right there. So it's actually fun and very interesting, yeah. And even under the microscope you can look at the bacteria and so on. So it's really cool if you're that type of a person.
So you're basically learning to as you go.
Yes, you do, because every day, you know, for bacteria and for viruses especially, you know, they mutate and stuff like that. So after a period, a year, after a couple of years or so, the same, like even the coronavirus that we're dealing with, you know, they mutate. So there's always something new or different that you will learn.
Okay. So you're going to work with the coronavirus as well? Further down one day.
Oh Lord. Maybe.
Alright. Please remember to like, comment, share and subscribe, and tell your friends about Chilling with Lady D. This channel is about everything. Everything. Sorry, we're just focused on one thing. It's just life on a whole general life. And even though we are Christians, I will speak to people that are not Christian because I was not born a Christian. I will keep it real. I will keep it 100. So, Sister Natangia, the next topic I want to talk about is your Christian life.
Okay.
Alright. How long now have you been a child of God?
I have been saved for 6 years and how much months? Yeah, 6 years and about 4 months.
And how has this journey, this walk has been?
It has been a roller coaster ride per se. It's not the smoothest of roads.
Never.
Definitely not. You know, you have some high moments, you have some low moments, but at the end of the day, when you put everything together, it's all worth it.
Alright, so coming into Christendom as a young girl, what were you looking toward? What were you expecting? You're not knowing about it and you're coming inside Christendom. What were your expectations?
Like I just expected to learn as much as I can, you know, especially regarding the Bible. And I usually have a lot of questions, like I question every single thing. And I think all of that come from doing science.
Yeah.
So, you know, doing science, you always, you know, investigate why this is that, why this is that, why did Adam and Eve, you know, so it was kind of like that. And I really expected the persons, especially my leaders and so on, to provide all the answers that I had, all of them. They're supposed to find the answer for the whole of them. But you know, as time go on, I understand that, listen, they're human, they're learning as well. You can go to God too and appreciate what they have to share with you.
Okay. So that means your expectation. So is it met or you are still learning?
I am still learning.
Alright. So coming out of that world and coming into that, you know, you guys understand what I mean. Coming from not being a Christian to a Christian, I can imagine you maybe were involved with somebody. Or you had a boyfriend or something like that?
Definitely. And it's interesting because when I got saved, I was currently, well, it wouldn't be currently, but I was speaking to a Rasta guy. He was a clean Rasta. I never know.
I
It was
saw
a
him.
clean
It was
Rasta.
a
He
nice
didn't look
cute
like
Rasta.
acting. Yeah, you need up them time. Yeah, I'm acting there for it too. So he was well put together, and I know, like, as a young woman, I don't know why you like it, but yeah, I always say, boy, I don't want to date a Rasta man, like, the song where God, she didn't know how to tell him she was in love with a Rasta.
man.
That was my song. And when I met him, I was like, yeah, this is it. And then I get saved.
So when you get saved, you break it up?
So when I got saved, it was some, I wouldn't say immediately, but it was short, it was sudden. So I remember after getting saved, they counseled you and tell you that, listen, is marriage or whatever, because of the lifestyle and the new life that you're going into now, these are things that you'll have to do. I spoke to the young man, and to be honest, he started coming to church, and it looked like one of the times he said they would get saved, but the basis on which he wanted to get saved was for me, and I didn't want that. So I tell him, listen, the best thing to do is to get saved for yourself and not for me. He was a good guy, and he always said that, him no smoke, him no drink a lot, and all of those stuff where would I say good, quote unquote good.
Right.
And I told him, no, you have to do this for your own, and not as young as I was in the faith, I understood that much because of the experience that me did have me. I said, yo, you need to experience this for yourself.
Well, you want me to say something to you now? Because I speak my truth. There's two things to that.
Mm-hmm.
One, you never wanted him to baptize and not converted or convicted, and it was all because he wanted you. So it could have been that he wouldn't be grounded, and then he would have just after a while get out. But my next thing is, maybe that was your job.
I still worked with him.
Maybe your job was to bring that man to God.
I
So
still
you
worked with him
were
after
putting
that.
yourself above what maybe even if you go far.
And then wouldn't know either.
Because you're young.
Remember me did young.
Yeah. But me I tell you, so in the future, they don't know if your duty was to bring him to God.
Yeah.
Because God will do the rest. You understand? And even if he had came in and then fall and follow, you would have played your part. You understand me? So I know it was edgy for you. One night, read that, and then we gonna get comfortable, and then you break my heart and go back. So
like when I just get saved, I never know not how much. So my thing was just that, listen, you need to do this affair. And I remember I brought him to church, and some of my ministers and leaders spoke to him and so on, and him there come every now and then until just parted peacefully. We're still friends, like no friend, but
So yeah. Be honest with yourself. Do you have any regrets about how you deal with it? If it's given opportunity, no. Okay.
And he has a family now too.
Okay.
So no, I guess that kind of influence how I look at him and now.
Okay. Alright. So alright, leaving from there now. So coming into Christendom, was there any major struggle as to what was hard to let go of? Because we still struggle, even when you're there, hot this up. But like leaving as a young person, what was name? Because we have young people looking, they know that you're fairly young, and she drives a car, she's in a proper job, and she's a woman of God. But we don't want to let them think that it was all perfect. So you're gonna tell them now few of the things that it was like, was a struggle.
So for me, one of the major thing for me was jewelry, makeup, hands. So most of the outward appearance, based on what I tell you, most of the outward appearance. And I was sharing with you the other day that for me, and it's recently I really started talking about this too. Like, I could go from inside the house to the gate without makeup, or from inside the house to the shop without makeup. That was just how insecure I was.
Yeah.
And even with the even earrings, but never know the day when I come home and stop wearing earrings. I remember like yo, big up to my pastor, Pastor Miko, for this. Like, I remember, like, I transitioned from, in terms of earrings, so it never just happen, boom. So me usually love wear the big hoop then, and the little, you know, the tassel earring them we wear now, we have some similar to that back then. We used to wear them then. I'ma take time, come down to the little hoop one, and then I reach at the little pearl, and then reach at the little tiny knob. And then I remember one day, that this was a couple months after, I visited my pastor's store, and you know, he's like, "Who are you coming along?" Because I was still a new convert. I'm like, "I'm alright, you know, so I'm getting there, you know. I still have one and two things I'm trying to work on, because, boy, you know, with our pastor, you cannot be honest to him. Me no know, it's like there is something about him,
and
you
humble,
can't
so you
tell
can
him
be
no
yourself.
lie. Yeah.
You
So
can
it's
be
like,
yourself. with
yeah,
him.
you can be yourself.
And that is a plus.
Exactly. So when he was there, I just started spill everything to him. So I was like, yes, sir, but you know, 1 and 2 times we wear my pants and, you know, the earring, you know, but oh, come far away, no, sir. And he was saying, yeah, but I can't see. And then, you know, I think it was he who said it to me that it's not the same day. Leave, go drop a water bottom it. I don't remember if it's him said to me, but if it wasn't him, he said something along that line. And what he said to me really encouraged me. You see, after Pastor said that to me that day, shortly after I took out the earring and I stopped wearing it. So it all comes back to approach, because if my pastor did say you need to stop wearing the earring now, you know, young lady, because of the person who I am, I don't like when people demand me to do things. But I never stopped wearing it, probably up to this day, but because of how he dealt with it, it made me looking at myself. And but also remember the rap session and them something that we usually have, them something they help you. So you know, when you hear the teaching and hear why we don't wear it and so on, and obedience and all of that, then that helped me to look into myself and abide accordingly.
Alright, before we go no further, that earring thing, I want to touch it. When I got saved, I was working in a betting shop. They know that will be a story time, but the earring, I used to come wear the earring to work. I know it's we a beer man, it's dominated by a man. And you know when go there, boy you're Christian and you're in a betting shop. So you still a try 50. So me used to wear, I go down to come with a costume for match every clothes. Say me have purple, me have pink. So I gone down to the little earring. I mean, so when we reach church, because church miss me, you know. So when we reach church, we take them out and put them in my pocket. One day me in a church, goodie, and no member to take it out. And somebody will come around and smell and go so. I'm going to go so. I take them out and that was the end of it. Because we can't bother with you because you have flat like So, and again, I tell you the truth. You see, Christendom, it's not an easy thing, but you know, I used to rely on the earring for tell me say then without the earring, my feet and my can't look good.
That's the thing with me.
And I remember now being a Christian, going to a wedding when my friend them out the road I go, my clothes batty, everything. And if I one time I buy a nice necklace there, I'm a go wedding without nothing. And when I look for myself, I look good. Yes, but you know what I realized though? The Bible said the Lord beautify the meek with salvation. Trust me, no line in that.
That is so true.
Yeah, continue with the struggle.
Yeah, and with the same earring thing, after Pastor taught me, I put it in back. After that time there, I did go back and put it in after that, you know, it as the same thing.
Because it was a real struggle.
Right. And then same day leave the water bottom. And this is not an excuse for saying go ahead and do whatever.
But no, you're speaking about your struggle.
My struggle, yeah. Regarding the pants, I never know the day would I come up with a wear skirt and I didn't hate skirts. Unless the skirt they way up here so, you know I get me that. It's always pants and shorts. That was me. But then, you know, eventually just work my way out of that. Yeah.
So it was for the pants, the earring,
makeup.
Yeah. So what about like companionship? What was that?
That was another thing. So you know I was trying to remember the rest of the question. So for me, it was kinda difficult. That's the word. You know, coming into the church and not dating or seeing anybody, because when I was out in the world, usually I'm like a spooky or a boyfriend. So, you know, coming into church, there are times when you do get lonely, especially as a young person growing up. And like my friend them, like back then, hey, that's what I'm telling you. So when God change your circle, it's all for the good. Okay, so the circle with me, you know, them at, by the way, from inner school days, I usually call we at nerds from high school coming up and so on. And like, you know, like in terms of, you know, when you look at, you see all of them have their boyfriends or who now have fiance or whatever. Sometimes you feel bad, I say, Lord God, what do me I do? Me, I think me I do everything right and nothing I want. And you know, sometimes in that time, like what I've learned is that in that time when you feel lonely, the enemy can always put somebody there,
to fill that
right?
gap
To fill that gap
when
when
it's
it's not God.
filling, yeah.
And then the when you go through all of that, the whopping where you get from all of that, it just not worth it. The heartbreak where you go through, the hurt where you go through, it just not worth it. So, you know, I have come a long way in terms of learning to, you know, be alone and just waiting on the timing of God. But just I enjoy God company, you know, and I'm really learning to appreciate, you know, my singleness.
So what did you do to get there?
We get a heartbreak.
Oh my God.
But bouncing back from the heartbreak, you know, the Lord placed some really encouraging persons in my life. You know, I listened to certain sermons and even words that the Lord had sent, and maybe I have to just be deliberate. So even like, you know, if Uncle said this now, if I do feel lonely, you know, go read a book, call one of your friend them and talk about, they may have to do something to like get it my mind off of that and say, alright girl. I remember even one time I found myself just watch big wedding videos and I'm like,
Oh, Fisher.
this not help nothing. It's just
African
put me in that
wedding.
depression because I don't have no money. So when me I do this for?
Yes, yeah,
So then
dream.
like no, like if I see a wedding video, not that I hate them or despise them or anything, for my own good and for the safety of my own heart and because I know where I'm coming from, I skip over it deliberately and if I avoid it. And if I realize that my mind wants to say, God, help my mind, Jesus, I may find something to do.
So you know that as you go, my question comes, right? Is there anything that you overlooked that could have prevented your heart from being broke? Something that it was there, but because you were, you know, in
love,
right, you ignore it, and then after you say, but I should have from a seat, the nail drop off of the wall. I should have taken heed.
Like definitely there are always red flags, and you know when you pray, like for me personally, I had prayed about the situations before, and when I say, God, is this your will? Show me a sign. God, show me a sign. God, show me another sign, please. And show me another sign. God, I don't think me sure what show me another sign then, please. And God show you another sign until
So was the sign
ignore it.
Or the sign
No, it
wasn't
depends.
in?
So like for example, so I
No,
can say.
no,
But
I don't want to know the signs, you know. But if you say, God, show me a sign, and you say, Him show you a sign, and you ask for another sign, was the sign say it is Him?
It is not.
So you deserve your heart broke.
Definitely.
Because,
Definitely.
no, that's why I asked, so we don't want to know the sign. But
And
no one
then-
know what was the answer.
Yeah, man. Definitely.
Oh my
So,
God.
and then
Can't
another
just
thing
reply
is
to that.
like you're saying, I'm sure see I got this or
No, because your
I'm
heart,
on mine.
your heart,
Yeah, because you're so in
you
love.
want,
You're
you want,
saying,
yeah.
I really got it. I'm on mine, man.
Yeah.
I mean, not time I hear it straight. This is not your husband. I'm still like, I'm a mind that, and devil that, until eventually you say, oh, God got the attack. But I must say, although I could have avoided those situations, I am grateful for them because I've learned the voice of the Lord better.
Okay. So for that young girl who would like to, you know, be with somebody and to prevent her heart from being broken, what would you say to her? She's watching, she's admiring you, all with your job, you know, and she's saying, say something to me that it will be less, alright, we just say no, to avoid me from going through, yes.
Alright, so what I would say to this young lady is talk to God, talk to an experienced person. So let's say, trust me, a lot of time person say, oh, pastor, no understand, or pastor, no know. You can talk to your pastor. If you have a ladies president like ours, you can talk to them. And you not even have to be specific.
Can I interject?
You can be general.
Can I interject on that pastor one there?
Mhm.
I can tell you this: if pastor don't say anything else, it's when him tell you don't marry somebody,
Listen
don't
to him.
marry the person.
Yeah.
Trust me, I have been to him before,
Mhm.
and he was correct.
And he come back to the office of the pastor and leader, you know, because this man is, you know, who God is funneling through to you. So you might not see or understand what is going on, but if your pastor is in line with God, he might hear from God and he know him and tell you say. You probably because you're so in love, you say, oh, that's not you want to hear, so but listen
You
to the
want
man
post,
of God
you want
and wait.
post, you
wait.
want quarrel. Cause I remember when Sir told me no with the rats, Lord Jesus. I went down by his store. I mean tell him, you know, that time to give me already I buy kick and be and them a party and then would have drop me off and me I come from church and time now for me say to Dougie friends and Dougie, what you think pastor? I said, boy, Dougie said, boy, David. No, you know, daddy, I said, Papi, I said, no, Rasta. I said, no, man, I started telling Dougie, way man do for me, way him give me, I fix it up. He said, in the evening, I got to sir, and so he said, no one said, talk to me strong, you know. I come home same time, I even meet the rest of the park. Straight at me, yeah, lock up, you know, my bar, but in the long run, he was correct. I live to hear the rest admit to me that he would have tried to convert me over to he's an Ethiopian Orthodox. And while we were talking, he was like, no man, you can say this so, and me say this so. And like Pastor said, if you have a child, which church child is going to go? And then when everything boiled down to crunch, he was like, but you have to come in at the long run and me and say you deceive me.
Exactly.
So I think
Your
relationship,
listen
listen to him. Really listen to
your
him.
pastor sit down the road.
Listen to
I
him.
remember this is an ambassador for the Lord. You know, this is a servant that God is using. This is a shepherd of your soul. So if he is a shepherd of your soul, it therefore means that you can definitely trust him. You know, lead in the right direction where relationship is concerned. If this person is responsible for if your soul will, you know, giving account for your soul going to heaven. You know what the scripture says and so on. They must can trust him to help you in that regards.
Alright, so before we cut off this segment, what else?
Oh, and fast and pray, young lady.
Yes.
Fast and pray.
So where you at now in your Christian life? How will you, from 1 to 10, how would you grade yourself?
In terms of where I am now,
Yeah, spiritually and
spiritually.
not meaning how much you know, meaning say how mature you are.
Oh, in terms of maturity, it's a difficult one, you know, because you know, of course, you're going to grade yourself harder than how someone else may grade you.
Yes, but and then remember say even if you put yourself dead, you
I
can
wouldn't
fall
give
for
myself
No,
10.
I'm just giving an example how you can grade yourself.
Yeah.
Even if you said 10, remember you still leave room, say tomorrow you can go there and something happen you lose. You know, you mess up just even if it's a swear or something like that. So it doesn't mean say you're perfect.
Yeah.
It just means say spiritually your maturity as a child of God.
In terms of maturity as a child of God, I would give myself probably a 7.5.
Okay.
7.5.
And
There are still deeper waters.
do you want to give us an explanation why you get that 7.5?
Why I give myself 7.5? So it's basically observing from obviously it's not really what you know, but in terms of like looking back at things that I would say or things that easily trigger me off, you know, things just in your whole life on a whole that would really get me off, in a really bother me no more per se, or even if it does, it's gonna take a good, you know, amount of that for really cause me for really, you know. So there are certain things like, for example, if I should look at even like the pants, the earring, all of that, so, you know, singleness, all of that. I can honestly say that I have matured. There's still room for improvement, definitely, but I have seen where I have grown in that regard. In terms of like, you know, fasting, I can say, I am getting, a little by little, but of course there are times when you just ploop, drop back, right back down.
Yes, that's what I say.
Yeah,
you can't grade yourself that way there. Just
But,
you growing and know say, Natangia, what you do?
That
Get
it.
back in line. The conviction.
That is it.
Because
That
you
is
can be
it.
a mature Christian and if you don't have the conviction, you're in a problem. You're supposed to do something and feel bad after and say, no, what have me do? So that is the growth I am speaking about.
Unforgiveness, all of those stuff. So, looking at where I am now as to being a baby in Christ, and not even being a baby in Christ, even after that, I can say truly the Lord has really worked on me, and I am learning as I grow. I am learning as I go.
I want to say this because it just stuck in my spirit. Being a child of God, you must be at a place where when the Lord sends a word, it convicts you and you try to do the right thing. I have been angry at my son, my grandson mother, because she has rude to me. And I remember listening to TV Jakes and him saying that, you have to let it go, the bitterness and everything, which I forgive. I don't have her up, but I just think I need to keep her at bay, that she don't do it again. But I got a conviction. I need to go and see my grandson. I need to go and get things right. My mother and I, we cannot see things eye to eye. We don't get along. I lost my numbers and I asked my sister to send me back my mother number. She never sent it, but I'm going to ask her for it. So even just to say hi, to break the cycle, because I am not going to allow anybody to let me go to hell. So I think if you're a child of God and you don't get certain convictions from evil, somebody sharing a testimony or something, I think you're in trouble. I think that is where maturity comes in.
Especially if you are in a particular situation where you know Satan, right?
Right. And why I said to you, and I tell you, say, not to judge it based on your knowledge.
Yeah.
Because if you can know the whole word, the whole Bible, and you depart from me. So it is the fear of God, the maturity, the conviction.
But even knowing the whole word of God is one thing, but applying it is another.
No, that's why I said that is where the conviction comes in.
And in terms of the whole growth thing, another thing why I would grade myself like that, before I usually look at a lot of things in the physical, so usually just everything at the flesh. So if somebody come and step on my toe purposefully, I laugh after me. I say, why she do that? Oh, she stays so, she see my toe, she's very vindictive or whatever. But now I've learned to say, listen, there's always some, spirit or entity or something behind of it. So get to the roots of it and not just what is being shown, not just, the end product. Look at what is there leading up to that.
Well, let me say something on that. So it's like you are drag out things out of me. I am somebody, if I feel that you offend me or you offend somebody that I care about, I tend to get defensive.
Yeah.
And I will say things. If I think you hurt my feelings, I'm gonna aim to hurt back your feelings. No, that is not godly. And I will do it knowing that I'm gonna be bashed, but I would prefer to take revenge and then deal with what comes after. But I realize that he who angers you controls you.
Yes.
And I have decided to work on myself.
Yeah.
I am not as bad as I used to be, but I will speak my mind. So I don't think you guys are gonna get rid of me speaking my mind, but I'm gonna speak it more in love. I'm not gonna try to really say, hey, you said that about me, I'm gonna drag it up. No, but I'm gonna say to you, I don't appreciate what you said.
Yes.
That was unfair. So me, I learn how to measure my words. I'm surrounded with love.
That's
and listen,
maturity.
yes, and listen, when I speak my mind, trust me, you can't see me tomorrow and say, baby. Because when I don't tell you my mind, don't come near me. Some people appreciate me for my bluntness And so that is what will help me to go to heaven. Don't force me not to speak my mind. Then you will build up anger and bitterness inside of me, and there is no room for that in heaven. So tell somebody why they should choose God.
Whoa!
No, let